Chosen one, listen carefully. This message you about to hear. You did not click this by accident. There is a reason your attention was pulled here. Some truths wait until the soul is ready. Tonight, something hidden begins to speak. The call you could never escape. Since childhood, you felt different. Not better, not worse, just separate. You tried to blend in, but your spirit refused. That was the call awakening inside you. Why your life never felt normal. Your path was never designed to be easy. Chosen ones are shaped through pressure. Comfort would have put you to sleep. Resistance was meant to wake you up. The signs that marked you early. You sensed things others couldn't explain. You questioned reality while others obeyed it. Crowds drained you, silence restored you. That awareness was never random. The awakening that changed everything. One day the world cracked open. What once mattered suddenly felt empty. You began searching for meaning, not approval. That was the beginning of remembrance. Why truth felt dangerous. Every time you spoke deeply, you were dismissed. Every time you questioned, you were warned. Truth threatened systems built on fear. So they taught you to doubt yourself. The weight you've been carrying. You carry emotions others avoid. You feel collective pain without explanation. Your heart processes more than one lifetime. That burden is also your gift. Why you were isolated. Isolation was not punishment. It was protection and preparation. Noise would have distorted your signal. Solitude sharpened your inner voice. The battle inside your mind. Doubt became your shadow. You questioned your worth constantly. Chosen ones fight internal wars first. Mastery always begins within. Why society tried to label you. Too sensitive, too intense, too quiet. Labels are cages disguised as explanations. They feared what they couldn't control. So they tried to define you small. The silencing of the awakened. History repeats this pattern endlessly. Those who see clearly are muted early. Not because they are wrong, but because they are powerful. Your empathy was never weakness. You feel deeply because you perceive truth. You see beyond masks and roles. That awareness scares unconscious minds. So they call your strength a flaw. Why you never fit the system. The system rewards obedience, not awareness. Your soul refuses blind conformity. You sense when something is hollow. That resistance is sacred intelligence. The pain that shaped your vision. Every heartbreak carved perception into you. Every loss expanded your understanding. Suffering refined your spiritual sight. Nothing you endured was wasted. The moment you stopped running, there came a quiet surrender. You stopped trying to become accepted. You chose truth over comfort. That decision changed your frequency. What it truly means to be chosen. Chosen does not mean superior. It means responsible for awareness. You are here to remember and reflect truth. Not to dominate, but to illuminate. Why your energy affects rooms. People react without knowing why. Your presence activates unresolved emotions. Light exposes what darkness hides. That reaction is not your fault. The test of humility. Ego was never your lesson. Humility keeps your channel clear. True power moves silently and speaks only when necessary. The fear of stepping fully forward. You know more than you admit. But fear still whispers restraint. This moment asks for courage. Not perfection, presence. The shift happening now. You may feel restlessness rising. Old identities are collapsing. You cannot return to who you were. The awakening is irreversible. Why this message found you now. Timing is never accidental. Your spirit called this confirmation. You were ready to remember more. So the message arrived. The responsibility of awareness. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Your choices now carry weight. Integrity becomes non-negotiable. Truth becomes your compass. The loneliness of the path. Few will understand your journey. Many will misunderstand your silence. But alignment attracts the right souls. You were never meant to walk alone forever. The power of quiet leadership. You lead by being, not forcing. Your life becomes the teaching. Consistency speaks louder than sermons. Authenticity changes timelines. The moment of acceptance. Stop fighting who you are. Stop shrinking to stay safe. Your soul knows its assignment. Trust it fully. What happens when you embrace it? Clarity replaces confusion. Peace replaces resistance. Your intuition sharpens daily. Life begins responding differently. The AWAKNED heart. Compassion deepens without attachment. Love becomes grounded, not desperate. You see people clearly and kindly. That balance is mastery. Your next level. This is not the end. It is a beginning of embodiment. Knowledge must now become action. Wisdom must become live truth. The final reminder. You were never broken. You were always becoming. Everything led to this awareness. Now stand in it. The call to rise. If this spoke to your soul, honor it. Like this video to anchor the message. Comment what awakened inside you. Subscribe to return to awakening and walk this path consciously. The deeper layer you've been told. There is more beneath what you've realized. Awakening is not a single moment. It unfolds in layers, each more confronting than the last. And you are entering a deeper one now. Why old desires are falling away. Things that once excited you feel hollow. Not because they were wrong, but because they no longer match your frequency. Your soul is recalibrating its hunger. The strange fatigue you feel. This tiredness is not physical. It is the shedding of outdated identities. Transformation drains energy before it restores it. Rest without guilt during this phase. Why you see through people now. Masks are becoming transparent to you. You sense intention before words are spoken. This is discernment activating. Use it wisely, not judgmentally. The test of detachment. You are learning to love without clinging. To care without losing yourself. Attachment was never love. Awareness teaches balance. Why triggers are INTNSFYNG. Old wounds surface when they are ready to heal. Your reactions reveal unintegrated truths. Nothing is happening to punish you. Everything is surfacing to be released. The invisible initiation. No ceremony marked this transition. No applause followed your growth. But internally, you crossed a threshold. Few ever reach this stage consciously. The silent observer within you. You are beginning to witness your thoughts. Emotions pass without controlling you. This distance is not numbness. It is mastery forming quietly. Why you can't UNAWKN. Once the veil thins, it never fully returns. Comforting illusions lose their grip. You crave truth even when it hurts. This is irreversible clarity. The loss of old connections. Some bonds dissolve without conflict. Others end with misunderstanding. Alignment decides who can walk with you. Release without resentment. Why you're drawn to solitude again. Integration requires silence. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Noise disrupts this delicate process. Solitude becomes medicine now. The difference between knowing and being. Information alone changes nothing. Embodiment is the real initiation. You are being asked to live what you see. Integrity is the next test. The moment you stop seeking validation, approval loses its power. You no longer need permission to exist fully. Self-trust replaces external reassurance. This is inner authority awakening. Why fear shows up before expansion. Fear guards the doorway to growth. It appears loudest before breakthroughs. Do not interpret it as a warning. See it as a signal. The shift in how time feels. Days feel faster or strangely suspended. You are less bound to linear urgency. Presence stretches moments wide. Awareness changes perception of time. The quiet confidence emerging. You no longer need to prove yourself. Your certainty is calm, not loud. This grounded presence speaks volumes. Power no longer seeks attention. Why you attract confusion from others. Your clarity disrupts their narratives. They feel exposed without knowing why. Projection follows, awakening like a shadow. Stay centered through it. The discipline of inner honesty. You can no longer lie to yourself. Excuses feel heavy now. Truth demands alignment. This discipline refines your character. The call to simplicity. Complexity begins to exhaust you. Your soul prefers what is real and clean. Simplicity sharpens perception. Less becomes more. The moment of choice approaching. You will soon be asked to choose. Between comfort and authenticity. Between shrinking and standing firm. This choice shapes the next chapter. The inner fire stirring. Something within you is waking stronger. Not aggressive but steady. A calm readiness to live truthfully. This fire is sacred. The path in ARROWING. Distractions lose their appeal. Your focus becomes precise. You are no longer scattered. Direction is consolidating. The responsibility of energy. Your thoughts carry more impact now. Your words ripple farther than before. Awareness amplifies creation. Choose consciously. The invitation to DEPER trust. You are being asked to trust without guarantees. Faith now replaces control. Not blind belief, but inner knowing. This is where true strength forms. Why resistance feels painful now. What once felt tolerable now feels heavy. Your soul rejects misalignment instantly. Resistance creates friction with your growth. Flow begins with honesty. The strange peace amid uncertainty. Even without answers, calm appears. This peace is not external. It rises from alignment within. Certainty is becoming internalized. The rewiring of your RESPONSES. You pause where you once reacted. Silence replaces defense. This is nervous system intelligence. Healing is becoming embodied. Why old fears are losing power. They surface but no longer dominate. You witness them without collapsing. Fear dissolves under awareness. This is emotional sovereignty. The awakening of inner guidance. Intuition speaks clearly now. Not loudly but persistently. You feel truth before logic confirms it. This guidance has always been there. The shift from seeker to anchor. You are no longer chasing insight. You are becoming a stabilizing presence. Others feel grounded around you. This is silent leadership. Why you're called to slow down. Speed scatters perception. Slowness integrates wisdom. Your rhythm is changing intentionally. Honor it without explanation. The release of performative identity. You stop acting for acceptance. Masks feel exhausting to maintain. Authenticity becomes non-negotiable. Freedom follows truth. The increase in SYNCHRONICITIS. Life begins responding symbolically. Encounters feel timed perfectly. These are not coincidences. Alignment sharpens awareness of patterns. The moment you stop forcing, effort gives way to allowance. You move with life, not against it. This is not passivity. It is intelligent surrender. Why your voice feels different. Words carry weight now. You speak less but deeper. Silence becomes expressive. Presence amplifies communication. The dissolution of comparison. Others' paths no longer distract you. Your focus turns inward. Comparison dissolves naturally. Authenticity has no competition. The return to the body. You feel energy somatically. Signals come through sensation. Your body becomes a compass. Listen carefully to it. The end of rushed DCSONS. Impulsivity fades. Discernment guides action. You move when aligned. Timing becomes intuitive. Why you're drawn to truthful spaces. False environments drain you quickly. You crave depth over noise. Integrity becomes attractive. Your environment is upgrading. The strength of stillness. You realize stillness is not stagnation. It is charged awareness. From stillness, clarity emerges. Movement follows naturally. The quiet detachment from OUTCOMES. You act without attachment to results. Peace remains regardless of outcome. This detachment is power. Freedom expands here. The recognition of your role. You sense responsibility without pressure. You are here to stabilize awareness. Not to convince, but to embody. This role feels natural now. The moment before expression. Something within you is ready to be shared. Not forced, not rushed, but authentically expressed. This moment is approaching. The call to consistency. Small aligned actions matter now. Discipline replaces motivation. Consistency anchors awareness. This is how mastery forms, the quiet confidence of knowing. You no longer need constant reassurance. Your certainty is subtle but unshakable. It doesn't shout to be recognized. It simply exists, grounded and calm. Why you no longer argue your truth. You've realized truth doesn't need defense. Those ready will feel it. Those closed will resist it. Your peace matters more than proving a point. The softening of the heart. Despite everything, your heart opens wider. Not naive, but discerning. You love without losing yourself now. This balance took lifetimes to learn. The release of urgency. You stop rushing your purpose. Timing reveals itself naturally. Force was never required. Alignment moves faster than pressure. Why certain doors closed suddenly. Some paths ended without warning. They served their purpose. Closure was protection, not loss. Redirection often feels like disappearance first. The deepening of self-respect. You honor your boundaries instinctively. What drains you is no longer negotiable. Self-respect replaces self-sacrifice. This is sacred maturity. The way you handle conflict now. You choose clarity over chaos. Silence over unnecessary reaction. Truth over emotional noise. This restraint is strength refined. Why you feel called to integrity. Shortcuts feel heavy now. Compromise creates internal friction. Your soul demands alignment. Integrity becomes effortless when awareness is embodied. The loss of interest in appearances. Image no longer defines worth. Depth matters more than display. You see through performance quickly. Substance is what you seek now. The stability forming inside you. Emotional storms pass faster. You remain centered through contrast. This steadiness is earned. It is the result of inner work. Why your energy feels stronger. You leak less through people-pleasing. You conserve yourself wisely. Energy gathers when alignment is honored. Strength returns naturally. The end of self-betrayal. You notice discomfort instantly. You respond instead of suppressing. Self-trust rebuilds quietly. This ends an old cycle. The invisible respect you attract. People sense your boundaries. They feel your grounded presence. Respect arrives without demand. Energy speaks before words do. The refusal to dim your light. You no longer shrink to be accepted. Comfort zones feel dishonest. Your expression becomes authentic. This light was always meant to shine. The gentle power of discernment. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everyone earns your access. Discernment sharpens compassion. This wisdom protects your peace. The moment you trust your pace, you stop comparing timelines. Your rhythm becomes sacred. Progress feels personal now. This trust stabilizes everything. The evolution of purpose. Purpose stops feeling dramatic. It becomes lived and embodied. Small actions carry meaning. Service replaces seeking. The silent preparation continues. Much is still forming unseen. Growth does not always announce itself. Foundations are being strengthened. Patience protects what is becoming, the stillness before expansion. There is a pause that feels unfamiliar. Not emptiness but containment. Like breath held before movement. This stillness is deliberate. Why nothing feels forced. Struggle loses its grip. You stop pushing against life. Alignment replaces effort. Ease becomes the new indicator. The refinement of intention. Your desires become precise. You want less but truer. Surface wants dissolve. Essence becomes the focus. The way you listen now. You hear what is not spoken. Tone carries more truth than words. Presence sharpens perception. Listening becomes intuitive. The dissolution of inner noise. Mental chatter softens. Space opens between thoughts. Awareness expands quietly. Clarity grows in the silence. Why you trust DLAYS. Pauses no longer frustrate you. You sense unseen alignment at work. Timing reveals intelligence. Patience becomes natural. The integration of shadow. You no longer reject your darker parts. You observe without shame. Integration replaces suppression. Wholeness forms through acceptance. The end of seeking escape. Distractions lose their pull. You face reality without flinching. Presence becomes refuge. This is grounded awareness. Why your path feels unique. You stop trying to map it. Comparison becomes irrelevant. Your journey unfolds organically. Uniqueness becomes obvious. The strength of gentleness. Force feels unnecessary now. Gentleness carries authority. Softness does not weaken truth. It refines it. The way you relate to success. External markers lose control. Fulfillment becomes internal. You measure alignment, not applause. Success becomes personal. The unseen support around you. Help arrives quietly. Guidance appears when needed. You are not as alone as you think. Support responds to alignment. The stability of inner peace. Peace stops being temporary. It becomes your baseline. Disturbances pass quickly. This stability is earned. Why you feel ready without rush. Readiness replaces urgency. You know when to move. You trust the signal. Action becomes clean and precise. The expansion of compassion. Understanding deepens without burden. You hold space without absorbing pain. Compassion matures. This is emotional mastery. The moment before visibility. Something prepares to emerge, not for validation, but for service and truth. This transition is subtle but real. The consistency of alignment. You return to center easily. Distractions correct themselves. Alignment becomes self-sustaining. This is integration, the sense of inner completeness. You stop feeling like something is missing, not because you have everything, but because you are present with yourself. Wholeness becomes experiential. Why you no longer chase answers. Questions still arise, but they no longer disturb your peace. Understanding unfolds naturally. Truth reveals itself when lived. The maturity of discernment. You sense what aligns instantly. No mental debate required. Your body responds before thought. This intelligence is embodied wisdom. The quiet alignment of daily life. Ordinary moments feel meaningful. Routine becomes ritual. Presence sanctifies the mundane. Life feels integrated. Why you feel grounded in uncertainty. Unknowns no longer threaten you. You trust your adaptability. Stability comes from within. This is inner security. The soft confidence in your DCSONS. Second-guessing fades. You stand by your choices calmly. Correction feels gentle when needed. Self-trust stabilizes direction. The shift in how you experience emotion. Feelings flow without drowning you. You allow without clinging. Emotions inform, not control. Balance deepens. The end of internal division. Contradictions reconcile within you. You stop fighting yourself. Acceptance integrates all parts. Unity replaces fragmentation. Why you respect your limits. Rest becomes intentional. Boundaries feel natural. Sustainability matters now. Wisdom protects energy. The way you handle uncertainty. You pause instead of panic. You listen instead of react. Clarity arises in stillness. Trust anchors response. The simplicity of truth. Truth feels clean. No justification needed. It resonates quietly. Simplicity confirms alignment. The evolution of inner dialogue. Self-talk becomes kind. Criticism softens into guidance. Support replaces pressure. Inner environment heals. Why you feel connected without attachment. You bond without dependence. You care without losing center. Connection becomes free. Love matures. The strength of consistent practice. Small rituals anchor awareness. Consistency outweighs intensity. Practice integrates insight. Growth becomes sustainable. The sense of being held. Even in silence, support is felt. You trust the unfolding. Surrender feels safe. Faith becomes embodied. The approaching transition. Something is about to shift. Not dramatically, but decisively. You feel it quietly. Readiness settles in, the calm before embodiment. What once lived only in thought is preparing to live through action. Not rushed, not announced, but rooted and real. Why you no longer seek to be seen. Visibility lost its urgency. Being real feels more important. Recognition without alignment feels empty. You choose truth over attention. The quiet alignment of action. You move when it feels right, not when pressure demands it. Your actions feel clean, free of inner conflict. The end of inner chaos. Thoughts organize themselves. Emotions settle into clarity. You are no longer pulled in many directions. Focus becomes natural. Why your presence feels heavier. Not burdensome, but grounded. Your energy carries weight, because it is no longer scattered. the difference between stillness and avoidance. You are not hiding anymore. You are resting in awareness. Avoidance was fear. Stillness is strength. The refinement of purpose. Purpose feels less dramatic now. More practical. More lived. More embodied. Why you trust your silence. Not everything needs explanation. Not every truth needs words. Your silence holds integrity. It speaks when necessary. The moment you stopped proving, you realized nothing was missing. You were never behind. You were becoming. At your own rhythm. The embodied yes. When alignment appears, your body responds instantly. No hesitation. No justification. The way life responds now. Resistance decreases. Opportunities feel organic. Support arrives quietly. Life mirrors alignment. Why you no longer fear misunderstanding. You accept that not everyone will see you. Clarity does not require agreement. Peace replaces the need to be understood. This is freedom. The subtle expansion of capacity. You hold more without strain. Responsibility feels natural. Pressure transforms into purpose. Capacity grows with alignment. The return of simple joy. Joy arises without reason. Not excitement, but contentment. A grounded appreciation for being. The moment you realized you were ready. Not because fear disappeared, but because it no longer ruled. Readiness came quietly. Like recognition. The path clearing itself. Distractions fall away. Decisions simplify. Direction sharpens. Momentum builds without force. The final stage before expression. You are no longer preparing endlessly. You are no longer waiting for permission. Something within you is aligned and ready to move the call you can no longer ignore. This is not just a message. It is a mirror. If your chest feels tight right now, that is recognition. Step forward into who you are. Stop waiting for certainty. Stop waiting for permission. Your awareness is the qualification. Move from truth, not fear. Claim your identity. You were never meant to stay hidden. Not in ego, but in authenticity. Stand where your soul already is. Engage your voice. Do not stay silent if this resonated. Your experience matters. Your presence matters. Speak from truth. Anchor this moment. Like this video intentionally. Not for the algorithm, but as a declaration that you choose awareness. Mark your awakening. Leave a comment below. Not explaining, but declaring what shifted inside you. Commit to the path. This journey is not casual. It requires presence, consistency, and courage. Stay connected to the frequency. Subscribe to return to awakening. Not for content, but for alignment. This space exists for those who know. Walk with those who see. You are not alone anymore. Others are remembering too. Connection strengthens embodiment. Community stabilizes truth. Hold the line. Do not fall back into shrinking. Do not dilute what you know. This clarity was earned. Protected. Move as who you are now. Not later. Not someday. Now. The world responds to embodiment.